Hi, there's 2 people right here, and then there are 3 people right here. And then here are my note cards. Okay, perfect. All right, thank you everybody for being here tonight. I wanted to talk to you about the aesthetic culture in social media and how that's changed through the new generation, Generation Z. So I wanted to talk to you guys about kind of what you see on social media, like Instagram or TikTok now. I feel like there are a lot of videos that are about like an outfit that I'm gonna wear today, or come with me as I do all the things that I need to do today, or anything like that. And I feel like that's something that's only kind of been prevalent now. Gen Z has kind of changed the online view, and they make kind of an identity around their social media presence. So Gen Z transformed aesthetics in social media, and now they use it as a form of self-expression. And aesthetics is not about following trends, it's about presenting yourself in your everyday life. The act of online presence isn't about posting pictures, but creating an aesthetically interesting narrative through fashion or photos or design. And I think that it wasn't always like that. Instagram in the beginning was about posting what you enjoyed and not about how people would view you through what you've posted. And it wasn't about representation. Now people craft profiles in hopes that people can learn about them and kind of get to know them through what they post and the kind of vibe that people would get from their profile. Examples of aesthetics that we might see today are the clean girl aesthetic, which girls will post as if they're perfect, they have the perfect makeup, the perfect outfits, the perfect life, and it's just kind of like no sweat, it was just breezy, and they were able to do it so simply. Another one is the streetwear aesthetic, where people will combine basic and unique clothing or personalities to kind of create an interesting narrative about themselves. Another one is preppy, which is the classic college Ralph Lauren type look, and it's about looking put together, but also about looking like you have old money or something like that. So we're going to talk about how Gen Z changed social media trends. There are niche communities that are built on Instagram or TikTok or any other social media platform that you use. These subcultures can range from minimalist to grunge aesthetic, and the hashtag clean girl kind of created their own community on TikTok. They now post makeup videos, get ready with me videos, come with me as I do this, and they've created their own community where they'll share and inspire each other to kind of fill that clean girl aesthetic. The algorithm is found heavily on social media, and social media actually favors engaging content or aesthetic content that people tend to enjoy as well. So people have noticed that the more aesthetic your video is, the more engagement you'll get on it. Con conducted a study and found that short form video content is more engaging and popular among people who view it, which is mostly Gen Z. Personal branding is another thing. People present their curated lives through style or decoration or portraits. Hubler discussed this. He said, the pressure to post perfect looking content can have a negative effect on women's mental health and well-being. He said personal branding is more than a self-presentation, and it's more about navigating the complex pressures that might be put on people to fulfill this certain aesthetic. Now we're going to talk about the real world impact, which we already have, but we're going to go more into it. There's the fashion influence. Aesthetic has a huge impact on fashion. It can go anywhere from high fashion to fast fashion, anything like that. For example, look at how often you see clothes or furniture that has bows on it. And that came from a specific TikTok trend that just kept getting on everybody's For You page and kept getting that engagement, and it ended up in all the stores. You'll see it in any Target or TJ Maxx or Walmart if you walk in there now. The next is hobbies and lifestyle. It shapes how we live, and there you could be a minimalist, and it represents cleanliness, keeping it simple, whereas streetwear is there to influence how you dress, and you represent yourself in the way that you dress, and it can be different for any aesthetic that you choose to associate with. There's a mental health downside. The pressure of wanting to fulfill a certain aesthetic can create unrealistic standards, and it affects your mental health. Katie Couric Media tells us that since the COVID-19 outbreak, mental illness diagnoses in kids 5 to 16 increased by nearly 50%. This increase can be linked to the pressure of idealized images, making importance on the aesthetic and the mental health pressures that can be a result of that, wanting to fill that aesthetic. And so even though aesthetic culture seems like a social media trend, it has more major effects on representation and connection. And Gen Z kind of powers that aesthetic in the social media and visual world. So I want you guys to think to yourselves, what aesthetic defines you? And that answer might reveal more than you think about your interactions with the world. And I just want to thank everybody for coming tonight, and yep, I'm all done. Okay, and then you have your 2 people here, and then 3 people here.